So you're living on the North Shore, Lower North Shore, Upper North Shore, Northern Beaches. Someone's going to spend $6 billion to improve your life, and you don't know too much about it. Doesn't sound too right, but we're going to talk about it today. The tunnel that's being tunneled at the moment.
I'm the ringleader, so listen up.
Pow! Good morning.
How are you, Xanth?
Yeah, well, thank you. That's a bit better. I'm good.
The hostess with the mostest. What's a bit better?
Better than what? Having me here on a Thursday morning? Not much.
You said that's a bit better.
Oh, just flipping you around. You're the hero here. I'm secondary.
Oh, you push us around.
Yeah.
Did you have a good sleep, Xanth?
Yeah, it was good. I had lovely work dreams, which is super exciting.
Nice.
Even when
What do you
I'm
think about
sleeping,
this
I'm
morning?
still thinking about Novak.
How good is that?
Very
Hey,
good.
what do you think about this tunnel thing that we're going to deep dive on? 5-10 minutes deep dive on a tunnel. What do you think about it?
Look, I think that, I know we touched on this earlier before the show. I think that the pros far outstrip the cons when it's all completed. It is Sydney's best kept secret that no one's talking about, just like you said. And really, not much is known about it.
Do you know what? If I saw the information, I'd consume it. I don't see the information on the tunnel, and I'm not going to research it probably generally. So I think a lot of people want to know about it, but sort of like, really, what's happening? So
Yeah.
I'm going to put a quick 45-second vid on to explain what is happening.
Okay.
So this is going to affect your property value. This is going to take traffic off the road for most people in Sydney. Watch this. The Western Harbour Tunnel.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Western Harbour Tunnel. It's happening. It's here.
That the Northern Beaches benefits from. Who would have thought?
It does. Yeah, we certainly will benefit. So firstly, you need to battle the Northern Beaches itself traffic to get to Neutral Bay. And that's when the benefits really start to kick in. You can go all the way to, where is it, Balmain with not one traffic light, or continue on to the Western Distributor and get all the way to the Blue Mountains in half the time that you can now. So Mark's just in a bit of a dead zone with reception, but it is happening. It's scheduled for a 2028 completion. The budget has blown out a little bit. We're on about $6.5 billion, but it will benefit your property value, which is a really interesting component to it.
So the really cool thing is the numbers are great, where it's going to take 20% of traffic off the bridge, 20% of traffic off the Sydney Harbour Tunnel. It really is another Sydney Harbour Tunnel if you don't want to go to Sydney City. And I love what you said about being able to go to the Blue Mountains with no traffic lights. Now, this eases people that even don't want to use the tunnel. So a lot of people are going to say, look, it doesn't really affect me. I don't really go out there. But it actually removes bottlenecks in their suburbs and in their area. It knocks on.
Oh yeah, even if you wanted to go into the city, with a large portion of people projected to utilize this Western Harbour Tunnel, you'll have less traffic going through the city, which will benefit you. So no matter which direction you're going, whether it's out west or into the city CBD, there will definitely be a positive impact on the traffic going through those destinations.
Now, how this came about is I was talking to a buddy of mine yesterday, who's in environmental, and he's a school buddy of mine, Benny. And I said, Benny, what are you doing? And he said, the guys I was working with have only got work in Queensland and in Canberra, but I wanted some work. I wanted to stay local. I said, yeah, right. So he goes, so what are you doing? He goes, you probably haven't heard of it. Now, I'm a Northern Beaches real estate agent, and a person that knows me really, really well says you probably haven't heard about it. How the hell have I not heard about a $6.5 billion tunnel that's going to be benefited from? Now, if you're driving over the bridge, you will see construction workers, you will see diggers, you'll see trucks, you'll see temporary buildings, and you're thinking there's a bit of kerfuffle on the southern side of the bridge. That's what they're doing.
Well, yeah, I honestly didn't know anything about it until we spoke prior to the show, just about our little topic today, which is the Western Sydney Tunnel. No idea that it was happening. I also didn't know that they had to change their construction plans mid-construction.
It does make you worry when you hear about it.
It is the best kept secret of the North Shore.
It's huge. Now, we've given you a bit of an entree to where it's going to go. So it's pretty much, it's connecting up the WestConnex, which is in Balmain. It's going to connect up from the southern side of a bridge around North Sydney, Mossman Way, and you go straight under. So I guess if you want to go, to any parts of the west, you don't have to go through the heart of our city, nor do you have to go through a longer way, which is Tatswood. I'm going to give you one more quick little vid, which is a great snapshot on exactly where this is going, exactly the benefits that everyone's going to get. And this is twofold, because not only the people, the Northern Beaches, North Shore are going to benefit, but it's the people on the other end of town as well. So it's really a nice two massive districts that are going to be benefiting from it. Watch this.
Not only a few choices for getting across, there's also the Harbour Tunnel that runs parallel to it underground, and the Anzac Bridge to the west. That means traffic bottlenecks are common across all these connections, and when incidents do occur and you need a detour, a lot of the time you're not going to get one. Now though, a whole new crossing is being built across this great waterway, and it's another huge construction project. The $5 billion Australian dollar scheme is called the Western Harbour Tunnel, and surprisingly enough, it's another tunnel under Sydney Harbour, but this time further to the west, creating a much needed new bypass of the CBD. The New South Wales government says it will cut traffic on the Western Distributor Highway by 35%, the original Harbour Tunnel by 20%, and the Harbour Bridge by 17%. It's around 6.5 kilometres long and is being delivered in 2 stages. Construction on stage 1, which involves the use of road-header tunnelling machines, began in mid-2022. The name for this new piece of infrastructure might be a little obvious, but the construction method for the crucial middle part is where things get really interesting. Time to take a trip down under. That section passing under the water would be an immersed tube tunnel, the same approach used to build the original Harbour Tunnel in the early 90s. That would involve dredging a large trench on the harbour bed, dropping prefabricated tunnel segments into it, and then covering it over. To make it all possible, huge temporary construction sites were planned at either end of the crossing. They'd be used for everything from manufacturing the tunnel segments to constructing the cofferdams and disposing of material. Hang on. What's a cofferdam? Well, they're used to create a dry area within a body of water, which you need to connect a submerged tunnel to the mainland sections at each end.
What? What is this? It's all very technical.
Nobody told me.
Nobody even knew about it, really.
So it's going to be ready in 5 years' time. So in 5 years' time, and you know what? The last 5 years went fast for me. In 5 years' time, we're using the tunnel.
Well, when you think about the projected growth of what's happening in Sydney and New South Wales alone, with all of the overseas travellers and immigrants coming in, we do need better road infrastructure, that is for sure. So if this is just one aspect of better infrastructure, it's certainly going to be a positive for everyone's day-to-day experiences.
Now, Xanth, you're right, but we do have to mention before we go, this is still not the Northern Beaches exclusive tunnel. This is going to connect to the Northern Beaches tunnel. It was a $15 billion project that's been reduced to a $6.5 billion project for that part. Now, what I noticed in that video is that this tunnel being built is 2 to 3 times the size of the Sydney Harbour Tunnel. It's significant. But what I also noticed is they've paused or stopped or canned the Northern Beaches Tunnel for now. And it was sort of a known that when Labor came in that was going to happen. But they are blaming budgets on this tunnel to not do the Northern Beaches only tunnel. But the Northern Beaches people are definitely going to benefit from this tunnel.
Yeah, they certainly will. And who knows what will happen at 2028 at the completion of this tunnel. I do think that the Northern Beaches tunnel will go back in the pipeline and be scheduled for completion later down the track. I personally think it's just been paused, but it will happen.
I think I've used the word tunnel about 400 times.
Say it another 5 times just before we wrap up.
We're going to go out with it. Okay.
Tunnel.
Have a tunnel.
Have a tunnely day.
Tunnel.